Okay. Okay, so we have 1 minute left, but if you're ready to go, I'm ready to go, Rhonda. Okay, so Rhonda, if you want to unmute yourself. Hi there, are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
All right, we're gonna have a good time. Okay, so what we're going to do today, because I want you to have the opportunity to finish going through the list, we're going to do a power session with you where we take a look at the top 5 gifts for a particular intention. Okay, so you're going to complete your homework and do the full gifts list on yourself. But we're going to do a power session and get your top 5 for a particular intention. So be thinking about that intention. And then do you have any questions for me before we get started?
Like what kind of intentions?
Okay, good question. Yes. So which area of your life do you need some support with? Do you need some clarity or help with? And so it could be business, it could be family, it could be relationships, it could be health. It could be this class. It could be anything that comes to mind.
Okay.
Okay, good, good. Do I have permission to muscle test or intuitively know for you?
Yes, you do.
Thank you. Okay. And how would you like me to refer to your GUP? GUP meaning God or Goddess, universe, or higher power.
God.
Okay. Okay. So leaning into that intention, what would you like your intention to be today?
Probably my biggest one right now is financial.
Okay. Okay. So you would like to know what intuitive gifts are going to support you in meeting your financial goals or improving your finances. What does that look like for you?
Helping to meet my financial goals. Yes.
Okay. Good, 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 good. Okay, this will be fun. This will be fun. Okay. So I invite you to take a deep breath in and release. Wiggle your toes, come fully into your body. I do feel like you're very present and grounded right now, so that's really good. And then open your crown chakra and invite your GUP into this space. Your GUP is going to create safety for you. Your GUP is going to give you additional insight beyond what I share for you. Okay. And so while you're in this space of connection, I'm going to take a look at these top 5 gifts that are going to support you in meeting your financial goals. Okay, so now I've got the 5 gifts. We're going to go through and talk about them. Okay. Uh, First one, love this. It's really, really fun once you begin using it intentionally. And this is a strength for you. It's the gift of Midas. Midas, and it's 10 out of 10. And I'm getting that you're using this 20%. This is the manifesting gift. This is the gift where, if you remember the story of King Midas and how everything he touched turned to gold,
Mhm.
this means that you have, some people see it as luck. And it's just that when you fix your heart on something, when you desire something, you make it happen. It happens for you, and it can happen very quickly, very easily, and without a lot of effort for you. All right. Now it's a 10 out of 10 strength, but you're using it 20%, which means that you can tap into this one. And we're actually gonna jump down here to the next one. I actually have, it came through as the 5th one instead of the instead of the 2nd, but we're going to jump down here. And this is the gift of healing minds. You also have the gift of healing minds. This is a strength for you, 10 out of 10. Healing minds means that you are able to heal mental wounds. This can look like mental illness, such as depression, anxiety, that sort of thing. And should you choose to pursue it, you could even go deeper with that. You would be a very good psychiatrist, and a coach as well if you wanted to do that. You can help heal minds. And the reason this is coming up with Midas, I'm getting that you're using this 10 out of 10, and that's because you can heal false beliefs and mindset. You have some false beliefs around worthiness, and it works for other people, but not for me. I don't deserve the things that I want. Okay, that's fascinating. So what's coming to me here is that there's this feeling of not there's this underlying, I don't deserve these good things that happen to me and that I desire and that I make it happen. And so that feeling of not deserving creates tension and makes it harder than it has to be. Okay. And so you were with me in the Manifesting in Miracles course, and you've been working on this gift of Midas, and you were able to manifest your home. Your
Yes.
beautiful, beautiful home. And also, see if this resonates with you. It doesn't have to be true, but it's possible that that underlying feeling of not deserving it may have caused it to be more problematic than it needed to be. Would you agree with that?
Oh, yes,
Okay.
definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you still manifested it,
Yes.
but it had to be harder than it needed to be, or else you felt like you didn't deserve it. You didn't deserve, and there might be some childhood wounding around that, around the Midas gift. Like if things came too easily to you, you might have been shamed for it. Like, oh, oh, it's just luck. You're always so lucky. Or yeah, you don't have to work hard for anything. It just comes to you, that sort of thing. Does that resonate? Do you think there may have been some of that?
There might have been at one time, but then it all changed and went the opposite direction.
Right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because when you're a little kid and you're shamed for it and you're told that there's something wrong with you for being so lucky and for manifesting these things so easily, it makes sense that you're going to turn that off in order to be acceptable. Can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So healing minds, you can go there. You can dig into your beliefs that you have around why I can't, like specifically worthiness and deserving, but also why can't I really tap into, fully embrace and enjoy my gift of Midas? Can you see that?
Yes.
Beautiful. Okay, the next gift on the list is generous. Okay, and you do this. This is 10 out of 10 strong, 100%. You have a very generous heart. You're a very giving woman. You give, 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 give. And that is a beautiful thing. And so the only thing that's coming to me here is that in order to meet your financial goals, you need to turn up the Midas. Okay, because you are so generous. What you understand is that it comes to you and then you get to give from a place of overflow. I sense perhaps that you're giving more than you should. Would you agree with that?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Always.
Yes, 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 yes. And that is a beautiful thing. That shows me that you understand how that you're not afraid to give, right? It's almost like you have this subconscious knowing that money's always going to be there for you. You have a subconscious knowing that, well, my Midas is going to be there for me and it's always going to come back to me. It's always going to flow in. Even if the logical mind freaks out and doesn't know what's going on, right? Logical mind is, where's the money coming from? And I'm freaking out and this sort of thing. Your subconscious knows your Midas gift is always there. And so it's like, yeah, I'm just going to give and overgive and overgive. And it's time for you to balance that. Yes, that is the way that the universe works, right? That we receive and then we give and we receive and we give. And, I make money and then I spend money and I make money and I give to charities, right? You need to receive. And the more you receive, the more you can give, but also like balance that.
Right.
There needs to be more receiving and more holding. You get to hold on to money too, and you get to save some money and you get to invest some money and let it grow for you. But there are some more pieces of the puzzle that we can take a look at there. How does that feel?
Right. Spot on.
Okay, good. Okay, so this is interesting. This is interesting to me. And I've seen this in you, though. I totally have seen this in you already. You have the gift of warrior, 10 out of 10, 100%. You're a fighter, and not in a negative connotation. You know what is worth fighting for. All right, so the masculine idea of the warrior is, the masculine is like, we go to war against. We go to war against communism. We go to war against terrorism. We have the fight on poverty and fight on crime, right? And we go to war against. The feminine aspect of the warrioress, this gift of warrior, is I fight for. I fight for my freedom. I fight for my values. I fight for my loved ones. I fight for myself. You are worth fighting for, and your desires are worth fighting for. Okay. And I know you're not afraid of hard work. It doesn't have to be hard. But this has a sense of going after what you really want fearlessly. Can you feel that?
Mm-hmm.
So kind of what's coming to me is that you have used this very strongly in a survival sense. And so you're being given an invitation to use this to thrive. Can you feel into that?
Yes, I can. Yes.
I feel like you're getting the insight beyond what I'm sharing with you right now. Good. Good, good, good. So that's absolutely going to help you. And then the last one on the list is your love of individuals, 10 out of 10, 100%. That you have a big, beautiful heart. You love so, so easily. And so I think what's coming to me on this one is just to remember that money is an energy, and you don't get money without people, right? And money
Mm.
is an expression of value. When people value you and your services and your products, and they give you money for that. And likewise, when you value services and offerings, then you give money for that. Okay. And so okay. And so I think what's coming to mind here is to remember that when you are looking at different ways of earning money and bringing and attracting more money to you, do it from that heart-centered space of loving individuals, loving people, and wanting to serve them. Okay. And this is easy for you. You're not a greedy person. You're not going to try and go and meet your financial goals through nefarious means or by hurting other people. You're going, you can amplify that by serving other people and being paid for your services. However that looks like for you. Okay, so a quick recap, you've got Midas, 10 out of 10, 20%. That's an invitation to allow yourself to receive and maybe heal some of that childhood wounding around you're so lucky, you never have to work for it, and I wish I were like that. You get to heal that childhood wounding, okay? And you get to do that because you have healing minds. So you can totally heal all of those negative thoughts and beliefs. You have that ability. I know that working with me, you've received some tools. Also, you just ask your gut, hey, how do I heal this? And or you can even just say, hey, gut, heal this. And they will do that. You have the ability to do that. Generous, 10 out of 10, maintain that flow, the flow of money, and balance it. No more over giving. Okay. Remember, well, let me finish this first. Warrior, you're a fighter. You get to go for that. And now you are fighting not just to survive, you are fighting to thrive, and you're going after what you want. And then you have that love of individuals, where what you are doing is serving other people. Okay. And then the quick reminder that I like to do in every session is that all of these gifts are first and foremost for you. Okay. And Midas, yeah, that one's a pretty obvious one, that it's for me first. That one's obvious. Generous, be generous with yourself. Warrior, fight for yourself first, and then yes, for other people. Love of individuals, turn that in and love yourself. See yourself. And healing minds, you can heal those things within yourself. Can you see how that blends together?
Yes. I
Can
can.
you see how that can help you meet your financial goals?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, good. Awesome. All right. So then, do you have any final questions for me tonight?
No, not really questions. It's just that this really falls into everything that's been happening the past week. And I have to tell myself that I have to do these things because nobody's going to do it for me. And I'm at that point where I have to look for another source of income.
Okay.
And I know that. And it's it's hard to think that I have to go out and do that.
Mhm.
So these will all help with that, definitely.
Yeah. Yes, it will. Yes, it will. And the other thing that's coming to my mind is to be open to possibilities. Okay. In my Facebook group next week, we're doing an abundance challenge. You'll want to participate in that. Okay. We're just going to be shifting perspective, opening our minds, and seeing things differently. And this is going to bring a lot of opportunities into your awareness. Okay. So don't feel like you have to settle. You have that gift of Midas. You don't have to settle. My husband, bless his heart, has a limiting belief that whatever job he does, he has that, like, it's gonna suck. He always says work is a 4-letter word. And I said, well, what if, right. And I said, well, what if you found a job that you love? Look at me. I'm doing something that I love, that I'm passionate about. What if you found something too? And he said, oh, well, I'm just, I'm a certain age and it's too late and yada, yada, yada. So if you find those cropping up, go ahead and get rid of those, because you don't have to settle. And in the challenge, you're going to see different opportunities and possibilities. You're going to get that Midas going, and you're going to manifest exactly what is right for you. Okay.
That's good, because thinking of all those things this week and updating a resume has
Yeah.
really brought a lot of that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Negative
Yeah.
feelings.
Yes. Yeah. So you have healing minds. When those feelings come up and you feel those limiting beliefs of, oh, I have to take a job that I hate, let's get rid of those and heal that. Okay. Because you get to manifest something beautiful, and I'm excited to see what that is. Okay. So that's going to be your homework, is to challenge those thoughts.
Okay.
All right. Do you feel that you accomplished your intention for our session today?
Yes, definitely.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you. What would you say was your biggest aha today?
Probably the Midas. Definitely.
Good. Is that, what aspect of it? Were you surprised that you have it, or was it kind of like, oh, I think I may have had that before and shut it down?
I think it's more that I've had it, or that
Yeah.
I have it and not utilizing it.
Mm-hmm. It
'Cause
has so much. Oh, go ahead.
Most of the other ones, I kind of had a feeling that once I kind of knew what they really were, I'm like, yeah, I think I have that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes. What I love about Midas has such a fun energy to it. It has this energy of hope and potential, play and excitement and adventure, and let's see what's going to happen. So that's really fun. And I love that you recognize the others in you. And I love that you said that, because what I find when I'm doing intuitive gift sessions, it's not like I surprise people so much, right? Like, oh, by the way, here's something about you that you never knew about yourself. It's more like I'm witnessing and I'm confirming to them, and they have that resonance of, oh yeah, that's right. That is what it is. I put the language around what you already knew about yourself. And that's what you're going to be doing for people too. If you do the sessions, you're going to be sharing that language too, and pointing out to them, this is why you're amazing and wonderful and fantastic, which you already knew, but now you know why. So I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that. If you would like to share a testimonial, you are welcome to do that in my Ascension Bridge group. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay. Was there anything else that I needed to do? Yeah, just thank you for being willing to show up and to be vulnerable and open to all the things. And we really want to hear about your job search. Let us know how that goes. I'm here for support too. If you're running into some sticky beliefs, will you
Thank-
please reach out to me and let me help you through that?
Yes, I will definitely.
Okay. Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, so that completes the demonstration. Does anybody have any final questions or comments? I guess the first thing I want to know is, do you feel like you can do that? April says that was perfect for me too. Yes. One of the things I love about energy healing is that like we can all gain insight from a session. Eliza, did you want to share?
Yes. So when you're like having them connect with their gut and tuning in, are you muscle testing for gifts, or are you just get like trusting the first 5 that come into your mind for them?
Okay.
And how would you suggest we go about that as we're learning?
Yes. Yes. So I've been doing this for 3 or 4 years now.
Mhm.
And so I have done a lot of practice with it. And so for me, they were jumping out. Okay. So it's just like boom, 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 boom. And it was hitting me. I'm glad you asked that. And so, yes, it may come to mind for you quickly like that. Just understand that this has come from practice. All right. Don't let that intimidate you. That's just what has come from practice. And yes, that's why I ask them to connect with their gut and to breathe through it, because that gives me the space to muscle test and go through the list and do all of that. And so your process will take longer because you're becoming more familiar with the gifts.
Because so what I was thinking for at least starting out is kind of like Angie said, like when I do a session, say like, okay, which section is this in? Finding the section and then just going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and testing like which one it is.
Yes.
I feel like starting out using that method will be good for me. So if anyone else, I don't know if that helps anyone else out or not, but
yes.
Yeah.
100%. That is what I want you to do.
Okay, cool. Cool. So that was Kate. I was like, yeah, you could do. I was like, this would be a really easy way to do that. So cool.
Thank you for saying that. Thank you for pointing out a blind spot for me. That yes, that is absolutely the best way to do it is, is it, and I do this when it doesn't jump out at me right away also. Then I will go through and ask, okay, is it in the people gifts family? Is it in the clear gift family? Is it in this family? And then I go in and then I ask which one. So yes, absolutely use that tool. Yes, Angie said, I've considered making a grid so you can muscle test faster that way. Is it in column A, B, C, odd row, even row, etc.? Yes, if you make that, would you share it with us? Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, that would be absolutely perfect. I do want to address what happens if it's not coming to you or if you're not getting an answer on something. It's not you, it's them. Okay. There could be resistance on their part, especially if you were doing something about what gifts need to come into my awareness or what gifts do I need to develop, or Or like with the gift of clairvoyance, right? Where when they were children, they had an experience that scared them, so they shut that off. And so if this is the gift that needs to come into their awareness, and they're like, no, I don't want to know about it because I don't want to see scary things, they're going to be resistant to it. And so if you're getting a blank, then invite them to just continue to breathe and create safety for them. Let them know it's safe for you to know you're already using it. You get to have permission, energy, and boundaries. This isn't going to require you to do anything that you're not already doing, and just intuitively help them create safe space. And you'll know when they release the resistance, because then it's going to be like, okay, there it is. So thank you for asking. Yeah, Linda said this kind of happened with you and I on Saturday. Yes, it did. It did, didn't it? So Linda was with us at the Relentless View, and she wanted to know what gift wanted to come into her awareness. And it wasn't immediately coming to mind for me. And so I just kind of felt that resistance, and we breathed through it together. And created that safe space. And then when I shared it with her, she already knew what I was going to say, right? She's like, oh, I knew you were going to say that. And then we were able to share a moment together of like, yeah, this is your gift. You're a badass. This is incredible. And the waterworks came. Yes, it did. It did. It did. Yeah. But that's such a beautiful thing, right? It's always safe for them to know. It is safe for them to know. It is safe for you to share with them as well. And your gut will help you to create that safety. You can invite them, hey, connect with your gut and ask your gut to create safety. Remind them their gut loves them and will not do anything to harm them, that everything that comes through is always for their best and highest good. Thank you for asking that. It was so beautiful. Okay, are there any other questions or comments?
Can I just share something?
Yes.
On the Midas Touch, for anyone who has it and is not utilizing it, because that was one gift in my session with you when you were like, you have it, but I was only utilizing it to 40%. I'm like, how do you tap into it? I have literally just in the past week, been doing every time I touch something like, oh, as I touch this, it becomes connections. As I touch my keyboard, it becomes ideas for my business. As I touch, like Rhonda, like as I touch my resume, it transforms into the perfect job. And it's been crazy to see how fast the energy can shift. So I'm a very practical person. So I wanted to share that because otherwise I'm like, okay, practically speaking, how do I shift that energy?
Oh, I love that. I love that so much. So Rhonda, right? As you're touching your resume, as you're working on your resume, as I touch this resume, I'm calling in my perfect job. Also, another thing that helps with this gift of Midas is clarity. And I'll share this with you from personal experience. I have gotten so good at knowing what I don't want, right? It's like, oh, I don't want that. I don't want this. I don't want the clutter on my counters. I don't want this behavior from my husband. I don't want all of this stuff. And what we focus on grows. So guess what I've been focusing on, and guess what's been growing? All the negative stuff, right? And that's really good information. If you don't know what you want, it's good information to know what you don't want, because you can take that and ask yourself, what do I want? What do I want? The opposite. You could just go with the opposite and work from there. And so, Rhonda, the other bit of homework that I would give you is to get a lot of clarity on what you really want. Like, what would be your dream job? What is something that you would love to do? And maybe not even like focusing on the title of the job, but what would it look like? Coworkers that what's the culture there? What are the hours? What's the flexibility? What kind of personalities are you working with? Who are the people that you're helping? And that sort of thing. Okay, so get clarity. Midas really enjoys clarity. So anybody who wants to download or develop this, I love Angie's suggestion, and also get clarity on what you want to create. Thank you. Eliza says, oh, I'm going to try that, Angie. Gift of Midas is one of mine. Shelley told me about last year, and I haven't quite figured it out yet. So I will try that. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. And also, as you guys are going through your own list, check and see if you have Midas, and journal around why you might resist it. Okay. Do some journaling around why am I resisting this, and what benefit am I receiving by not using this? What am I getting out of this? Because whenever we're stuck somewhere, there's a benefit to it. All right. So when I find myself stuck in a relationship problem with my husband, what am I getting out of it? I get to be the victim. I get to be the martyr. I get to be the long suffering. I get to complain. I get to whine. I get to be the victim. I'm getting something. I'm getting compassion. I'm getting attention, whatever that looks like. So if you find yourself stuck and it's like, okay, I have Midas and I don't know how to do it, or it's not working for me, then ask yourself and journal on it. Why am I resisting this? And again, going back to resistance, it might not just be what you're gaining out of it, but what am I afraid of? Okay, beautiful. Good job, you guys. This is really good. You guys have amazing suggestions and offerings as well. And I just really, really, really appreciate your time. I appreciate your insight. I appreciate your vulnerability, and I appreciate your sharing. Does anybody have any final comments or questions before we log off today? Angie says, do we have homework? And Sean says, thanks, Shelley. Our homework is the homework is, I'm just going to keep it as it was last week, is to finish the list. And if you have finished the list, all right, for those of you who are ready for the next step, I would invite you to choose one gift that you would like to download or develop. Okay. So take a look at that and decide if you would like to download or develop it. And a reminder to download it, you ask your gut, please give me a download. Boom. Thank you very much. And to develop it, you're going to ask your gut every day, what is something that I can do? What is an action step I can take to develop this gift? Okay. But if you haven't finished your list, don't worry about that. We don't have to get ahead of ourselves. That's just for those of you who want to explore it a little deeper. And yeah. Okay. So my guides are saying, say it again. A reminder of the pros and cons for each of those. The pros, if you choose to download it, is that the gift comes online immediately and you get to use it immediately. The cons are that it creates change, a very abrupt change, and change can be uncomfortable for you and those around you. A good example of this is the gift of Catalyst. Catalyst, as we're going to be learning, is that spark of change, right? You create change very quickly. And if you ask for a download, then things are going to change very quickly for you. And maybe you're in a space where you really want change to happen and you need that. And that's awesome. Also understand that with this new energy, other people are going to start changing as well very quickly. And that can be very uncomfortable for them as well. And then downloading the pros and cons to that. Pros are that it's not an abrupt change. It's something that you can develop over time. And there's a lot that you can learn from that process. You can intimately get to know a gift by going through that development process. The downside is, it takes longer to get there. Liza asks, can you ask a gift you already have at a lower strength to be updated to a 10 out of 10? Yes, absolutely. That would, same thing applies. If it's a gift you already have and it's a lower strength, you can ask for a download, 10 out of 10, or you can develop it up to a 10 out of 10. Good questions. Okay, wonderful. Thank you again for a beautiful class tonight, you guys. Oh, Angie, did you want to say something?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, and
Yes.
remember that your guides will trust you. I asked to download something this past weekend, and I very clearly heard, nope, you don't need that right now. So just saying, even if you
Yes.
ask for it, you'll be
Yes.
guided if you're not supposed to have it.
Oh, thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, consult your gut on that. You could ask your gut, hey, is this best if I download or develop? Yeah, they will. If you're not ready for it, or if it's going to cause a little too much shifting going on, they'll let you know. Thank you for sharing that, Angie. And yes, Luana, you're welcome. Have a great rest of your week. And I will get this replay up and available to you tomorrow. You're welcome, Rhonda. Have a good night, everybody. Love you.